beautiful people, it is Friday the 20th of June. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And like we are every beautiful and blessed day. How you doing, Brent? We're hosted by the very best.
Good morning. How art thou?
Yes. TDA, the day after your favorite news platform. Are we back normal?
Yes.
Cool. That was fine enough. How are you, F?
I'm good. Are you looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, man. I guess so.
Lovely.
If it's gonna be sunlight.
Yeah, it will be. Got a lot to do?
I've got kid's birthday to go to, and I've got work.
You have another child?
you know that already, man. I got 3 on the way.
Don't. 3 on the way?
God has blessed me, man. God has blessed me.
These kind of jokes aren't supposed to run, mate. Imagine on some days you basically say that there's power in the tongue.
Yes.
And then on this day you're there looking to wish for 3 children.
Isn't triplets a blessing?
At the same time.
Ain't triplets a blessing?
Not for the person who has 3 babies in their tummy.
No, I think it's a blessing, man. I think it's a beautiful thing.
That's a big tummy.
Yeah, it's only going to be there for like 9 months.
Only, yeah?
And even half of that is not even showing.
It's
really.
still you're carrying it yourself.
Mentally. Yes. You know what I mean?
My oh my. Anyway.
What about you? You got busy
Yes,
weekend,
I'm
man?
always looking forward to the weekend. I told Esther yesterday, it kind of represents 2 uninterrupted days when I could just crack on with crap.
Yep.
So as opposed to waking up in the morning and doing TDA, which obviously I love to do, I wake up in the morning and do other things.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, oh look, Dr. Mani's back.
Jeez, big up Dr. Mani. Good morning.
Yeah. She's been gone for a while.
God damn it.
Well, welcome back. Let's do a little roll call. Good morning, T. 9 Ether, rebranded. Greek. Greek has been he's been here for a while.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Consistently for a little while.
Mm.
I hope everything is right at home. Greek, the next NED event is the 1st of August. Put it in your diary. I believe in the early evening, I think Gin and Gist has an event, a book club event. Obviously, she runs the amazing Blacklisted book club, which is fantastic. I love seeing her content show up on the TDA page. I told her each time she put something up to tag TDA so that I can basically share it on the story, innit? But she started doing it, and then I don't know what happened. She decided that we were too good, too bloody good, to tag anymore. I don't know, man. Get some water. Oh. But anyway, I enjoy seeing her content.
Yeah, man.
Continue.
She's been consistent, isn't it?
Yes. So please put 1st of August in your diary for 2 reasons. One, Gin and Gist Blacklisted Book Club. I think she's going to be sitting down with the gorgeous Kelechi Okafor.
Come on.
You were supposed to read the book. You haven't touched it, have you?
I haven't yet, Remember, I was ill, innit?
That means you can read.
No, not for me,
Oh, you can't read when you're ill?
No, because my brain and everything has to go to the spirit realm to battle the forces, and then I heal the body.
Interesting.
So I can't do anything really in the
So
physical.
you really can't. You're just bedridden.
I mean, physically, yes. But the spirit is active. You know what I'm saying? Doing a lot of battling. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I have to lock the body away. So that obviously in this realm, no one can attack me.
I actually want you to have a little wrestling, utilizing your spirit, and come back and see how your commentary is very different to what it is that you keep on playing with.
I don't know what
Do you
you're
understand? I want you to actually experience a tussle with the spirit.
Why?
Whichever spirits, to be honest. It doesn't have to
why
be
do you think
a
I
spirit.
haven't?
Whatever spirits.
Why do you think
So
I
that
haven't
your
tussled?
commentary
Yeah.
actually reflects how it is as opposed to what you think it is, with your jokiness.
No,
You see how it is, like, say jokes as opposed to lies?
Yes.
You see? I use my words
No, but mine,
correctly.
my commentary, I think, is kind of like one who's been in the spirit realm.
No, if it's just
But-
entertainment, it's not.
But one. You know what I'm saying?
What?
If you go in the spirit realm and you come up battered and bruised, then you will sound, you know what I mean, dejected and stuff.
Yeah. Okay,
can't
so
die.
let's get back to the reading stuff, right?
There we go.
So when you're sick, do you go? "Ugh," I just
No, I just, lay there and then I leave the body, you know what I'm saying?
all right, okay.
And then
Listen,
I go.
I'm talking about the physical, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Your wife and your daughter, how are they basically seeing you? If it is, you can't basically tell me because you're in the spirit realm. Like, what is your state, your physical state?
It's all right. It's just
Do you make
there.
any noises?
Absolutely not. Why would I do that?
Because when it is I ask you, what if it is you ready, you're like, nah, I'm sick. I'm like, what? You completely just mash up.
No, because like I said, I have to use those resources for the other war. Because remember, everything happens in that realm, then comes here. You know what I'm saying? This is why many people. Let me not say anything, because otherwise I have to do trigger warning. People might think I'm being insensitive. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, you don't war against flesh and blood.
All right.
But
How often?
principalities and powers,
Okay.
rulers of the darkness of this age,
I like how you keep
and
quoting the
spiritual
Bible.
forces of wickedness in high places. I'm
Quote
telling
another
you.
book.
Which one?
Quote another religious book that you basically read.
I quote Al-Fatiha for you if you want me to.
Go
I
on
can
then.
quote the Kabbalah for you if you want me to.
Go
I
on.
quote if you want me to.
Go on. Ifa?
Yeah, of
How can you
course.
quote Ifa?
Oral,
Oh, go on. Run some.
no, in fact, I won't go into.
Of course you would.
No, because
It doesn't matter.
people don't
It
take it
doesn't matter.
seriously.
Let's push
Yeah.
on. Let's push on. Let's push on. God damn it. All right. So, how long are you in your sickened state, your physical sickened state? Forget about the spiritual realm. How long are you in that particular
It depends.
immobile state
It depends.
on the severity of the
Yeah.
illness? So each time it is you get COVID, because you've got it a few times, haven't you?
I think I got it like twice, 2 or 3 times, maybe. Yeah, I think I got it the first time when nobody knew it was COVID. You know what I'm saying? But we all think it was COVID. Remember, obviously, people started getting it around, let's just say, the end of that, whatever year that was, November, December times, innit? But then we knew about COVID in like January, February. So around them times there.
Oh, you got it early.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
But there was no name to it. But I think it was that. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
So you collect new colds.
No, I don't collect the new codes at all. I don't collect anything. I just live my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you seem to be getting it before everybody else. Like you're the forebearer.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's the case, but maybe because my immune system is just sensitive, innit? You know what I'm saying? I'm an African. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So when you imagine this, imagine you
Remember
go to
for a long time, people were
Yeah.
saying black people ain't getting it.
yeah,
And then you
yeah,
popped up and said, I got it.
no, I never
And
said
then
that,
everybody,
because
every
remember,
black got it.
I
So you're the gateway.
no, I thought it was a cold or flu. You know, I thought it was a flu rather. You know what I'm saying? But obviously,
Until it isn't, your lungs collapsed. I'm not joking at people suffering. I'm just joking at Emmanuel suffering.
can you imagine?
I just have to put that
Can you
out there. So
imagine?
just people think I'm being insensitive. I don't know where Demi is right now, but I don't want him to be triggered. You get me? No, I don't want him to be triggered. But stay away from Emmanuel, people. Obviously, he's the bringer. He's the harbinger of every illness that affects the black community.
I'm the protector.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Once the protector falls,
the
sleep on
protect-
his job,
No, but
going into the spirit realm, everything runs in.
no, but that's
Have
not
you
what
seen?
happened.
Yes, you did see Sinners, isn't it?
Yeah,
What
of
happened
course.
when that guy left his post?
What, they're gonna pee in the forest? But then people there are not spiritually inclined. They're not they're not spiritually aware. Unfortunately, what happened to, of course, the woman that was spiritually aware, she didn't pass, but she knew. She gave herself. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. But them other people that are just there on post and think it's okay to go leave the post and do all types of nonsense, they don't understand, man.
Are you one of those men that your woman would say that you completely are useless when it is you're sick, and then you exaggerate your sickly position?
No, I don't think so. No, I
You
wouldn't
don't
say
think
that.
so? You can't recall.
No, but I mean, with the narrative is like, most women say that anyway, because they can't empathize with the flu that men get. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
think it's different?
Than what? Than the women flu?
You said woman flu.
100%. 100%. 100%.
Why do you think it's different?
It knows who to target. You know what I'm saying? It targets the men in a particular way, the new gens as well, because they, you know what I mean? We still got commonalities, and it targets us to deal with us. You know what I'm saying? This is it.
So it's different because it targets.
No, I'm not saying it's
differently.
not different because it does it. I'm just saying it's different, and it does. That's part of
Both of them.
the differences. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why we suffer more, man. But you know,
Like some men really make a go of it. It's different than Were you here when we talked about men screaming?
no.
All right, cool. So I think last Friday, you weren't here last Friday, were you?
No.
I had a conversation. I can't remember how it started, but it got onto, I think Esther suggesting that it's not. I just caught myself out to say something stupid.
I'm saying to you,
If you heard a man go, what would you think about a man when he's afraid and he screams? What do you think about that man?
so I would have to see him because I wouldn't think it's a man.
You see?
Yeah.
You see, you would think it's a woman. Because men are not supposed to do that, right?
I'm not going to say supposed to, but I think when our nervous system responds to certain things, it doesn't go through that channel. You know what I'm saying?
You have to have a concerted effort to think about doing that pitch when it isn't your skin, right?
Yeah.
That's
what I think so. Huh?
Was that Eddie?
What?
Yeah.
No.
All right, cool. All right, cool. I know sometimes you just go into. All right. I asked her if it's an ick. If it would ick her out. If her man, have you seen a man yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Handsome motherfucker, but
Big
like
him up.
he's a hunter gatherer, right? I asked her if your man opened his mouth and that came out when he was afraid, right? I think it started when she said she went to Dubai and she went on the dune buggy. The desert buggy and whatnot, and she was screaming, right? And I was saying, I can't remember how it came up about. I'm like, no man is supposed to be. No, not on a roller coaster. Not when getting scared. Not when getting punched. None of that. I asked her, would you get the ick? And she's like, no. I'm like, I don't think you tell the truth. I don't think you're telling the truth. Because I would get it secondhand.
Oh, right.
That song is not supposed to go to a man's mouth, right? And I'm telling her, it's not. It's a man is supposed to shout as opposed to scream. Yes. He's not supposed to be screaming. No shrieking. None of that.
Nah,
You understand? Nah. And then she was there saying, "But you speak and laugh in a high register." Yeah, I do. I don't scream like that.
Yeah, something else is.
I'd have to do the double take to see if a woman's in trouble. You
This
get
is
me?
it, exactly,
I'm
yeah.
going to the rescue. What up, darling? You okay, darling? How can I be of assistance?
Yeah,
You get me?
100%.
Where's the attacker? I'm not expecting to see Joe Blogs.
No chance.
You understand?
No chance.
I'm not. But anyway,
No chance.
I just wanted to see if it is I was alone in this. You know?
No, not at all, man.
Never mind. All right, let's crack on with the show.
Oh, before we go into the headlines, there is something that I want to push to the people. Big up Heather for sending this to me.
Big up, Heather.
But also big up brother Minister from the UNIA as well.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? UNIA, I've spoken about UNIA every now and again. That was an organization that was crafted, built, and made manifest by the great, the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And basically there is a veneration day. This is the veneration of the honorable Marcus Garvey. That will be taking place on the 22nd. So that's going to be Sunday, the 22nd, guys. This Sunday between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. It's going to be at the Caribou Educational Centre. This is going to be in Brixton, guys. 7 Gresham Road, London, SW9 7PH. It's It's going to be spoken word artists there. It's going to be live performances. It's going to be lectures as well. You know what I'm saying? There's going to, Brother Minister's going to give one. He's the UNIA London president. Everald Wilson, who's an author and historian. Shakara, who's a historian and a content creator as well. There's going to be a short documentary screening as well. There's going to be some good ITAL nourishment as well. You know what I'm saying? Liberty plant-based cuisine will be there on the premises. You know what I'm saying? Making sure everyone is good.
You have to say Idal.
Idal.
Idal. Whenever I hear it, it's such a strong word. Idal.
It is, man. You know
Idal is vital.
There you go. So yeah, man. All the Garveyites out there, you know what I'm saying? All those who just who are linked to some capacity or want to get to know why it is that some of us love the Honourable Marcus Mosiah Garvey so much, man. Turn up, guys. Turn up. It's going to be, again, this Sunday between 4 and 8 p.m. 7 Gresham Road, London, SW9 7PH at the Caribou Educational Centre. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be an evening to honour, enlighten, and inspire. You know what I'm saying? You can get tickets via Eventbrite. I think it's £11.55 on there, but I think if you go to the door, you can get some tickets there. It's £10 to get in. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Support.
Isn't it World Sickle Cell?
What, today?
Yesterday.
I don't know, Brent. I do not know. Yesterday was Juneteenth, though.
Shout out to all of my soldiers. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, man. Warriors.
Shout out to all my warriors.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up everybody. And yes, let's get into the headlines, Brent.
All right.
Also, so quickly, guys, get ready. Join the Discord. Topic of the day. I want you people to join in, man. Join the Discord. Yeah, let's get to headlines. All right, people. So our first headline, the Labour MP Vicky Foxcroft has resigned as a whip over the government's plans to cut disability benefits. In a letter to the Prime Minister, Foxcroft said she understood the need to address the ever-increasing welfare bill, but said the cuts to personal independence payments, PIP, and universal credit should not be part of the solution. She said that she had wrestled with whether I should resign or remain in the government and fight for changes from within. But she added, sadly, it now seems that we are not going to get the changes I desperately wanted to see. She said that she would not be able to vote for the universal credit and PIP bill, which will be debated in Parliament on the 1st of July. More than 100 Labour MPs have expressed concern about the bill, and government could face a large rebellion from its own backbenchers when it comes to the vote. Next headline, and this is more so a question, man. Is the UK about to get dragged into this Iran-Israel conflict? So in 2003, Britain joined the US in a highly controversial military campaign, as you guys know, against Iraq in a quest to rid it of its supposed arsenal of weapons of mass destructions. These turned out to have all been destroyed years previously. This is what this is saying. They never had none, people, right? As America's closest but junior ally, Britain is almost certain to be affected in some way by what happens now in the Middle East. If Donald Trump decides to commit US forces to help Israel eliminate Iran's nuclear program, then what role would the UK be asked to play? First off, Britain is very far from being a central player in this fight between Israel and Iran. The UK, along with other G7 allies, have called for de-escalation, but Israel is unlikely to be listening. This is diabolical. It's a small Israel, that is saying they're not going to listen to the rest of the world. We know why. This is not just because relations between Britain and Israel have recently soured after the UK joined other Western nations in sanctioning 2 Israeli cabinet ministers for inciting violence against Palestinians in the West Bank. But it's also because Israel has clearly decided that now was a window of opportunity to act militarily, right, against Iran's suspect nuclear program, and that the time for talking was over. In an apparent snub to the UK, Israel reportedly did not inform it in advance of its attack on Iran, considering it not a reliable partner. So this is Israel's view of the UK at the moment. But we'll see if the UK will be dragged into this nonsense. Next headline, and Donald Trump will make a decision on ordering US military action against Iran within the next 2 weeks. This is what the White House has said. At a conference on Thursday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that the president still believed Iran could come back to the negotiating table. It comes as world leaders warn of a serious risk of escalation in the Middle East amid Israel and Iran's exchange of missile attacks. The conflict between the two countries is now in its seventh day, with a Washington-based group, human rights activists, saying at least 639 Iranians have been killed and more than 1,300 have been injured. Iran has not been offering regular death tolls during the conflict, but said in its last update on Monday that 244 people have been killed and 1,277 people have been wounded. Israel says at least 24 people have been killed by Iranian strikes. Imagine, look at the disparity. Reading out a statement by President Trump on Thursday's conference, Leavitt said, based on the fact that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. Next headline, and the editor of BBC Breakfast, Richard Frediani, is taking an extended period of leave after allegations about his behaviour these allegations about his behaviour were reported in the media. So an HR advisor from consultancy firm PwC is also supporting the corporation as it looks into the culture of the BBC One morning programme. It comes after The Sun and Deadline reported that an internal investigation is being carried out into allegations of bullying. The BBC said it didn't comment on individual cases, but takes all complaints about conduct at work seriously and will not tolerate behaviour that is not in line with our values. A BBC statement also added that we have robust processes in place and would encourage any staff with concerns to raise them directly with us so they can be addressed. Next headline, and Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth's office sent an email to staff requesting a passive approach to celebrating Juneteenth, which is the federal holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. This is according to the Rolling Stone, yeah. The message was relayed by the Pentagon's Office of the Chief of Public Affairs, and the message added that the office wasn't planning to publish Juneteenth-related content on the Pentagon's website. It's according to the outlet as well, yeah, Rolling Stone. Juneteenth, for those who don't know, I'm pretty sure the team wished everybody, especially our people back home in America, a happy Juneteenth. It's known as Emancipation Day, right? And it's long been commemorated, but didn't become a federal holiday until a few years back, 2021. And that happened under President Joe Biden. But the Pentagon official told Rolling Stone that the Defense Department may engage in holiday celebrations that build camaraderie and recognition of historical events and notable figures, where such recognition informs strategic thinking, reinforces our unity, and promotes meritocracy and accountability. You know what this is. Next headline, and an LA county supervisor is warning community members about people impersonating immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, right? After masked men allegedly profiled and threatened a staff member's godson following days of actual ICE raids around the city. During a Tuesday meeting, the supervisor, Catherine Barger, recounted the story of two masked men in an unmarked vehicle with flashing lights, allegedly pulling over a staff member's godson, then making a derogatory comment that he was driving a nice truck for someone with that surname. Imagine. The men then attempted to enter the vehicle but fled once a crowd began recording their encounter. I do believe there may be people out there impersonating ICE, taking advantage of this population. So this is what Barger said, adding that she called ICE about the incident and got no response. And the last set of headlines, trigger warning on this one, people. Big trigger warning. A trigger warning is SA. So an Afghan asylum seeker tried to defend his rape of a 15-year-old Scottish schoolgirl by citing cultural differences and a language barrier. Sadiq Nikzad, who's 29, entered the UK illegally on a small boat in 2023 and later that year subjected the teenager to a terrifying sex attack in broad daylight in Falkirk town centre. Nikzad will serve 9 years in custody, followed by 3 years on licence, go on the sex offenders register and also be deported at the end of his sentence. As the sentence was passed by Livingston High Court, Nikzad repeatedly shouted, "Liar, liar," at Mr. Justice Norris. He was convicted of rape at the High Court in Edinburgh earlier this year after a jury heard how he approached the girl, asked her for a phone number and if she had a boyfriend. He then made sexual remarks towards the underage girl before leading her to the rear of the Courtyard pub where he attacked and raped her. Animal. Next headline, and trigger one on this one, I believe. And yeah, this is more so violence and terrorism, things of that nature. A court in Kenya on Thursday sentenced 2 men to 30 years in prison for aiding al-Shabaab militants in 2019 attack on a Nairobi luxury hotel complex. In January that year, gunmen shot their way into the Dusit Hotel and office complex, killing 21 people in a siege that lasted 19 hours. All 5 militants died in the attack. Hussein Mohammed Abdel Ali and Mohammed Abdi Ali, both Kenyans, were convicted last month on charges of facilitation and conspiracy to commit a terrorist act. The judge said that they played a critical role by helping 2 of the attackers escape from a refugee camp using fake identity cards. They had also provided financial assistance to the group. Both men have denied the charges and now have 14 days to appeal their sentences. For those who don't know, the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab regularly carry where it's basically waging a war, waging an insurgency in a bid to seize power. And our last headline, a televangelist in Kenya who was notorious for claiming to cure infertility in women died in a car crash on Tuesday. Gilbert Deya was killed in a horrific road accident which involved several vehicles. Deya was a one-time stonemason who later styled himself as a bishop, prospered in the 1990s with claims of his ability to successfully pray for women who were struggling to have babies. In the 1990s, the preacher moved from Kenya to the UK, where he led the Gilbert Deya Ministries with churches in cities including London, Manchester, things of that nature. The Kenyan news agency reported after his death that the preacher and his wife claimed that infertile or menopausal women could become pregnant in 4 months without having sexual relations, thanks to their prayers. The claim of miracle babies later attracted the attention of authorities, and he was accused in Kenya of stealing 5 children between 1999 and 2004. And that's it for the headlines, guys.
So did it end up giving birth? And then he stole them?
No, he just steals the babies, man, and gives those people babies. So he's saying they don't need to give, yeah. Like that.
So he says they can get pregnant and have immaculate conception, and then he puts them to sleep, or he just waits until they fall asleep, and the next morning, during the night, he takes the baby and puts it next to them, and they wake up and they see the baby.
I don't know how he does it like that, but what I can tell you what another organization does.
Organization. Okay.
There's some structure to it, unfortunately. Yeah. But basically what they do is they inject the women. So they inject the women and they start getting bigger bellies.
Yeah.
Starts feeling swollen or whatever.
Yeah.
They're still going to have their monthly, whatever it is, I think in some cases. So, but when they show concern and go back to the lady, she's like, don't worry, that's normal. Remember, yours is a unique case, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? But you can see your belly's getting bigger, right? Cool. Don't worry, in 9 months, you'll come back and you have your baby. This is why sometimes when they can't acquire a baby, the pregnancy lasts longer than 9 months. And so they call these babies miracle babies, because this baby was harvested for 12 months, 15 months in some cases. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to find a baby. They have to pay somebody off for their baby or steal a baby. And then they bring that baby, the person's put to sleep, goes through the contractions or whatever it is, and the baby's presented. Oh, there you are. You know, God has done it.
Did the white man bring this level of guile, deception to the African shows, the West African shows?
I think this is just a human thing, man.
Have you heard of this type of wickedness?
I think it depends.
In any other part of the world?
Do you know what it is? I think it just depends on what people value. Back home, we value having families, innit? So you're going to do what's necessary to exploit those who want to really have families. Just like in this country, people want to have papers. So you exploit those who really do whatever is necessary to get their papers. America, the same thing. Everywhere, the same thing.
Why? Because of westernized conditioning, do we find these stories absolutely ridiculous for people to believe in?
Boy.
If we were back home still,
yeah,
right? Have not basically graced these shots, would we be like, what the hell? Why are you being fooled by this?
I think so, but it depends on the time frame. So if we're back home, we've interacted with the colonizers already, then I think we might be duped like we are today. But back before they came, no one's being duped by this foolishness.
So you're still blaming the white man for this? This is bonkers.
It's not necessarily me blaming them, but it's more so me saying a lot of these, all the nonsense that we kind of look at these pastors back home for doing. So the whole prosperity gospels that go far left, not the regular prosperity gospels that are Shimalowas of the world, the far left ones, the ones that maybe go into the miracle stuff, the TB Joshuas of the world, he's passed away now. The guys that will basically just do all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And start healing you of cancer and all that nonsense, yeah? Making you walk.
Sorry.
What happened?
I would like to interrupt you. Is that all right?
Yes, talk to the people.
Before the hopium
Mm.
from white Europe, right? Wasn't there claims from the village practitioners, spiritual practitioners, that they can do wonderments? Why are you going to say this white man and the Christianity stuff? Well, I don't understand.
Do you know why?
It
Because
still happens today.
no, because these things are kind of linked in the church, innit? So you're hearing people say these things, and a lot of them come out of the church. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie to you. This also comes from people who don't go to church too. So
120%.
100%.
Like, didn't I tell you about the app now where you can go directly to your
Babalawo.
babalawo?
Yeah, that's not nothing to
You
talk
have
about.
get help. What?
That's not
No,
what
I basically linked it to outside the train station and them handing out things saying
Okay.
I can get you money, I can
Yeah.
get you new babies, I can get you long willy, right? You never see that on the card.
I don't take the cards.
Why did you take the card?
What's good having
Oh,
for me?
you don't need the card.
There you go.
Suppose the card says you would never get sick again. Wouldn't that be tempting?
No, not really.
Because you want to go in the spiritual realm. I mean,
But I need to be human too, innit? You know what I'm saying?
you think getting sick is a human trait.
100% it is.
It's part of
But
the human experience.
You can reduce your sickness and stuff. This is why I said to you the other day, I haven't been sick for like 2 years. So it's normal. Plus, you just have to read How to Eat to Live by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
in Christendom,
It'd be good, man.
we rebuke things like that. You saying that it's a human condition, a human experience to be sick.
But this is
It's
how
like you're welcoming in.
No, but this
let me make me. Let everybody see that what you would be in. Bring it.
No, but this is how they then take your money in Christendom, innit? Because you believe the bollocks.
I don't know
You know
how
what I'm
many
saying?
people are still doing tithes, bro.
Huh?
What?
What you say?
The amount of absconders I know. And that's part of why they don't go to church no more.
There you go.
Because when
There you
they go to church, they feel convicted. You can't just
That's the
be
reason?
tapping in, tapping out, and
Nah,
not basically giving your due.
I mean, everyone's different.
Pastor still needs to live, you get me?
Yeah, but he has to do what he's meant to be doing, I guess, innit? Like, people need to come there and I guess, wherever you go to church for, I guess you should get that. You know what I mean?
I actually also have this theory that if you do good to others, you are still sowing into that particular tithe bucket. Not for your pastor, obviously, because he ain't going to see that money. He ain't seen that money at all. But if it is that you don't attend church, you can still look to basically, give and sow into the kingdom that way.
But isn't that kind of dangerous, though?
Doing what? I'm not advocating for not going to church, mind you.
No.
You should find your people and your tribe.
There you go.
What's the app? What's the website that this handsome man came and shared? Where he said, "I'll find you the perfect church." Plug that.
Yes.
Go on.
Big up Fidelis. You know what I'm saying?
I was looking for the name.
I don't remember right now.
It's,
It'll come back to me.
All right.
It's right there, but
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
come back
yeah.
to me. Black Rob, no. I forgot about Black Rob. For some reason.
120. He bookmarked it. Not to use it, to scrutinize it. To come back and tell us how it's not helping the kingdom.
Man, look at these diabolical people in the chat.
What happened?
Crucial J, then Kofi, then Emmy.
Wait a minute, what's
I
happening?
don't even know what they're talking about, but they're talking about it.
What? What?
Favor, thank you, Izzy. Favor, Faiver.
Ah,
Yeah, from Fidelis. Big up Fidelis.
come
man.
on.
We need to bring you back on the show. It was a brilliant episode, man.
120%.
But yes, everyone gets exploited, unfortunately, Brent, man. Wherever there's a need, you know what I mean? There's going to be somebody who's going to be selling hope, you know?
Sorry,
It's what it is.
I stopped you from finishing, isn't it? Oh, did you finish?
I think I did.
You see? That's what she said. Let me just play this. All right.
Let's go.
I stumbled upon this. I think it was yesterday or the day before, I remember. But I bookmarked it.
Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... You pull out the phone and use the Google.
It's in Genesis. So you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it and you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two...
Well, hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And
What does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
And so is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yet nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the
God's
descendants of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes.
Mental. Mental. He said the quiet things out loud. Mental. And that's what a lot of these mother effing churches running around basically saying this is why it is that they're basically supporting Israel. Through all of this crap, you know. This is why because God told them to. Nonsense.
Tell me why it's nonsense.
They're not the same people.
No, but no. Forget that part though. Tell me why. Because can they be forgiven for believing they're the same people?
The Israelis?
No, what's his name? Cruz and the rest of the
Can
rest
he be forgiven?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't even think that this is why he's supporting. I think he's trying to trump up. Trump up. Sorry, what is Brazes?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying to you. But these are
What is even Brazes? Apparently, I've done something with Brazes. What is that?
It sounds like something that Ramsey would know about. So maybe Ramsey could call up.
God damn it. All right, so I don't think that Ted Cruz even cares about what is in the Bible. I don't think he even knows what's in the Bible. I think that he is basically trying to justify why he's taking this particular stance. And he thinks, citing God and scripture is going to cut it, which is crazy.
But why is it crazy though?
Why is it crazy?
Yeah. Why? What exactly are you saying is crazy? Is it crazy that he thinks people will buy this, or is it crazy to believe it?
I think it's both.
All right, watch this. Black Rob. Other Christians like Black Rob. What I mean by that, and I mean it in a nice way, just people who are Christian, born again, and maybe subscribe to, they're not just Christian by birth. They're Christian and they like to delve into the theology of Christianity, right? Those of you in the chat, those who's listening elsewhere around the globe, joining Discord, whatever it may be, do you understand why Ted Cruz says we must support Israel? That's the question I want to ask you guys. Go on to the other part. The other part that we mentioned was, why would people believe it? They would believe it because they've heard it for so long from Christian televangelists. I've heard this for the longest while. I've heard it from black people, from white people, from all sorts of people who claim to be Christian, that Israel is God's chosen people. Because they're God's chosen people, God is doing a particular work with them, the land, bringing them back to the land. It's theirs, all of that sort of stuff. This is the land he gave to Israel. It's the land he gave to etc., etc., etc. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you've got that in your head, this is the reason why people who might be on the fence, or people who just grew up in the church somewhere in Kansas or bloody, I don't know, wherever in America, believe what he's saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is it Kansas? Why Kansas in particular?
I just thought it was kind of whitish, but I've never been there, so I don't know.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Is that in Texas?
Nah. Where is it? In Arkansas or something?
Arkansas.
I have no idea. Sorry, guys. My geography in America is diabolical. You know what I'm saying? And you know America, they've got bare places that's the same name, but in different states. But yeah. Okay, so Black Rob, he said, so many people in the church don't understand scripture. Cool. He also said, I understand his stance, but he's wrong. So please elaborate on that, Black Rob.
Just jump on Discord. It's
Yeah,
easy,
exactly.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
jump in the Discord. Kofi as well, he said, I understand, but it's wrong. Call up, please.
Yeah, just jump on Discord.
You know what I'm saying? Jump on the Discord, people. And let's get into this one.
Just jump
Jeez,
on.
big up Kevin Thompson. I've not seen him for months. Why has he been here since I've been away?
He's always been here.
Okay. In spirit.
Not really.
No?
This is other.
What do you mean he's over what? He's got another account?
He's got a couple.
Well,
You
big
know
up.
Tornado?
Huh? Oh, gosh.
Oh man. Have you ever basically seen any of these Zionists, these zealous Zionists, in their temples or when they like commune, and they're talking about like Christians, they're talking about Muslims and whatnot. They curse Jesus, his name so much.
100%.
They call like Christians and followers of Christ like the wildest things,
Yes,
right?
they do.
And to be in a world where you are citing that this is why I will go on a global platform and let everybody know the reason as to why is we're backing the madness, the demonic madness that they're doing, right? Day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. It's because God basically told me that's what I'm being obedient to God. But in that same sitting, these same people that you're there saying that you are protecting and helping to basically kill others, mind you. You are helping. You're not just sitting there saying, I agree with what they're doing. You're helping. They would turn to you and basically say that you are heathen.
100%. But remember, there's different types of Zionists, though. Just like there's different types of Israelis. You got those who are atheists. They don't believe in God. They're Jew by DNA and ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? That's different. They want the land. This is why some of them say, I'm Israeli. Forget the Jewish part. I'm Israeli. You know what I'm saying? And they would fit into the overall agenda and workings of the Zionists.
He's not in Discord.
Okay, cool. Can't join the Discord, guys? Okay.
I don't think he wants to.
Well, we'll wrap this up soon. We've got a topic of the day too.
No, I'm not. That it's boring or anything. I don't know if he wants to stand by what he's about to. There's security in the typing. Yeah. But
I hear that.
we will circle back.
Yeah, man.
We will circle back.
Yes.
I don't even think he reads the Bible too tough, to be honest.
Oh, the cancelled club. He or she
That's
says.
Josh.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's Josh.
Okay, Josh, just call up, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave the car for a tiny bit, man. Unless you're in a rush.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Call up.
Good morning, Robert.
Morning,
I knew you
Joe.
come true, man.
Come on.
You just needed a little push.
I was summoned.
All right. Shalom, man. I got me loving that.
With that.
Speak to us.
Yeah, so there's, if I'm going to, okay, first of all, there's a big evangelical Christian community in America that have been psyoped into believing that following the Zionist agenda is biblical, but it's a misrepresentation of the scripture, and that's why I put in the chat that Bible verse about they'll perish for lack of knowledge. There's a lot of Christians that are Christians in terms of they follow the book and they earnestly believe what they're doing is right, but because they don't read, they can get finessed. Do you know what I mean?
So where have they gone wrong?
Kind of leads into that. This kind of leads into what you were talking about earlier about the people that like get finessed in like by the churches, then the pastor says, "Oh, if I pray over your belly," it's all the same thing. Where if you don't read it for yourself, you can get finessed into anything. So now you know about the Schofield Bible, right? So the Schofield Bible was like,
I heard that from Candice yesterday. What's that?
yeah. So Schofield Bible is like it was commissioned by like, I believe it was commissioned by like the Rothschilds or something like that. So that there's slight, it's basically they make annotations to it, and they make assertions about certain scriptures to make it align more with a Zionist agenda. So for example, like in the book of Revelations, they speak about Magog and Gog aligning with all the nations around Israel to attack Israel, and then Israel prevail because of God's intervention. Now, the Schofield Bible think that Magog and Gog is Russia, but there's no evidence of that whatsoever. They just made that alignment because Magog and Gog is to the north of Israel, but Ukraine's to the north of Israel. Jordan, do you know what I mean? There's bare countries that's to the north of Israel, but they decided it was Russia because it aligns with like the Zionist agenda. Do you know what I mean? So there's lots of small, intricate, like very small things where it's like sleight of hand. It's not like something crazy, but it's like, do you know when you move, when a plane goes 1 degree to the left, it can end up in another city. So they do these little sleights of hands in terms of interpretation to align with Zionist agenda, and a lot of the evangelical Christians just ate it up because they don't do their research.
Is it a case of misinterpretation, or is it a case of let's watch God move? What I mean by that is this. Okay, no, go.
So basically, Romans 2, 28, 29 says, a person is not a Jew who is one only outwardly, nor is circumcision merely outwardly and physically. No, a person is a Jew who is one inwardly, and circumcision is circumcision of the heart and by the Spirit. So basically, what happened was prior to Jesus, the Jews is a bloodline, but after Jesus, they were like, okay, there is a Jewish bloodline, but the 12 tribes have pretty much been scattered and they're all over the place, and it's inconsequential now. Now the Jews are anyone that accepts Christ. And when they talk about Israel, they're talking about the bloodline of Jacob, etc. But they're talking about, so the chosen people are people that are, it's an inclusive, like the difference between Christianity and Judaism is that Judaism doesn't try to recruit because they think it's a bloodline. They think it's a eugenics. They think it's we are born into it, so therefore where we are the chosen ones. Christianity says we recruit because anyone, you have to opt in. It's a club that is inclusive. Anyone can be part of it if you opt in. So, and that's why we evangelize and they don't, because it is our birthright, but we have to activate it by believing.
Yeah.
It's not because of so when you read these passages about you have to be on the side of Israel, they're right. You have to be on that side of Israel. But when they say Israel, they mean like the Israel. I'm part of Israel because I believe in God. Do you know what I mean? Not that it's like because the Bible, there's parts of it that are historical facts, and there's part of it where they speak in poetic language that needs to be deciphered. And those are the bits that can be misconstrued. So
do you mean
there's actually lots of Bible passages that say that talk about that Romans passage I spoke about. It clearly says that being a Jew, or the way they speak about Jews right now, it's like it's not about outward appearance, it's not about circumcision, or not about your bloodline. It's about what your heart posture.
Okay, I hear you. It makes a lot of sense to me. Do you believe there's any significance to the land of Israel then? Because everything you're saying just sounds like you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're saying Israel is no longer just the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but more so those who accept Christ as Lord and Savior. Yeah.
So what I gave you was like a biblical argument for this. Now I'm going to give you a worldly argument for this.
Cool.
Israel, they specifically call themselves Israeli and not Israelites because they know the implication of calling themselves Israelites. Israel is the current day. Israel is not allowed to. You're not allowed to take 23andMe or Ancestry. It's illegal to take ancestry tests in that country. Google it if I'm lying. Why? I'm not gonna say why. I'm not gonna give my theory as to why that is. But if you,
but we know.
but we
Yeah.
know why they're not allowed their citizens to take ancestry tests. So this is my non-biblical argument for why this doesn't make sense as well.
But I want you to hone in on the land part though, because does the Bible not intimate that the land of Israel will be a place where, I guess, that the land of Israel will come back to Israel, will come back to the people of God?
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So the land is of significance, that particular land, right? But if you are now saying that Israel is those of the bloodline plus those who accept Christ, should everyone kind of be hoping to come back to Israel? Is there a need to protect Israel?
There's two parts to that statement.
Cool.
The land of Israel, so we know there's no deciphering that we need to know. We know where the land of Israel is, so that's quite. And then the people of God. So that's where the land of Israel, we know that is the people of God. Now that's up for debate. Who are the people of God? The Muslims will say they are. The Jews will say they are. The Christians will say they are. So that's what's up for contention.
Yeah.
What I currently see is a political movement under the guise of a religious one, because most of the people in power within that state are secular Jews anyway. They don't even believe in anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So even though the people that are currently moving the cogs anyway are, for the most part, atheists or agnostic, so they don't even subscribe to any of the three Abrahamic religions. So therefore, by proxy of that, it's like this current revelation that's in the books isn't being fulfilled currently because the people of God are in control. Whether you're Muslim, Christian, or Jew, because the actual biblical Jews, Christians, or Muslims aren't the ones steering the ship.
But what does that look like to you? Because I'm assuming from your position, the ones who should be steering the ship are Christians then.
Of course, yeah, but that's why I went vague, because I'm saying that even if I was a Muslim or a practicing Jew, I went vague just so that it wouldn't look like I was just being like. Obviously, I'm a Christian, so I believe the Christian. But even if I was one of the other ones, I'd still say that the prophecy is not currently being fulfilled based on who's running the ship.
All right. I mean, I hear your position. Me personally, I see things as, yes, it could be a religious movement, but you can't separate religion from politics, man. You can't. Because,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? There's definitely going to be politics involved. 100%. You have to make certain alliances, and you've got to do certain things for the betterment of your organization, even if it's a religious one. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just the reality of it. And sometimes politics calls you to war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all know God is not going to come down, and God's not going to just clear the land, and the land's going to be inhabited by those who win the land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then it's also like a thing of like, I know if it says, if the evangelical Christians that say, "Oh, God called us to support our brothers blindly," it's actually not even from a genuine place, because if you look at the prophecies of the Book of Revelation, what the evangelical Christians are doing are like, yes, let's support let's support Israel, because when Israel wins all their wars, it will trigger the apocalypse or whatever, like, and then they will get done over by like God, and then it'll trigger all this. So basically, it's like it's almost like, let's help them to speed up their own demise. So it's not even coming from like a.
Is that how you see it? Is that how you see it? Because I think
that's what it says.
No, the reason why I'm saying that, because I think a lot of what's that guy? Haig. Is his name Haig? Is it Haig? White guy, very big, overweight televangelist.
I don't know.
He's one of the most popular guys. He's got glasses. I think I'm not too sure if his son's taken over now. It's something Haig. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
I think a lot of them believe that, yes, okay, Christ will do X, Y, Z and all that sort of stuff, and it's there for us Christians to do whatever is necessary. Yeah, fine. But I believe that they think that those who are Jews will then see the light. Do you get what I'm saying?
John.
Thank you.
Oh, well, they will convert en masse.
Yeah.
Like that. There's that as well. There's
you know what I'm saying?
That's one of the That's one of the supposed theories.
John Hagee, that's his name. So, sorry, Black Hole. John Hagee.
Yeah.
He's still alive, right, Brent?
No, I don't know who this guy
he's still
is.
alive, 85. Yeah.
I won't trust anything that guy says.
He's got a huge church, man.
Yeah.
Huge church.
Yeah.
He's been pushing this whole thing about Israel and Christianity and linking the two and the 4 blood moons and the signs of the prophecy. And my friend,
Yeah, I'm always a bit weary of those ones just because, like, I'm just so cynical, especially with the mega church people. They love money, and one thing APAC knows how to do is to share the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To give out money to influential people to follow the talking point. So
yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if you've been remunerated.
Most definitely. But yeah, all right. Thank you very much for that, Rob. That's basically answered the question. That obviously you understand, even if you feel like it's misguided, you understand where people like Ted Cruz or even the unsuspected ones who kind of ignorant but innocent in this believe that
No,
they have
so
to.
I think.
Go on.
Sorry, I think the ignorant ones are the people like the congregation. They probably fully believe it, but I think the Ted Cruzes and all that stuff, they know that that's just what they need to say to justify the APAC check that they're getting.
Yeah, for real.
So I don't believe like the Ted Cruz and stuff, even whether they, in all honesty, I believe a lot of the politicians that claim Christianity in America, and it's just like, especially in America, it's just like, do you know how they do like focus groups and it's like, oh, you have to be either a Christian to get the votes from here. You have to. They even did studies on like if you're bold, you're less likely to become a president because they trust people with hair more. If you have if you have to get married, like a lot of these people, like they're just doing focus groups and doing the right thing. So I don't know how many of them actually believe the stuff they say. They just know what the focus groups want. So if they ain't got hair, they'll get a toupee. A lot of them get married just before they start doing their political run. Some if they're not married already. Because you're more trusted if you're married. You know what I mean? So it's all just focus group data rather than what they believe, from my opinion.
Wow. All right. Thank you for the insights, man.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Much appreciated.
All right. Good.
All right. So, you ready to hit the thing for our topic of the day?
No.
Okay. Let's get on topic of the day. All right, people. I did want the ladies in the room to contribute, but of course, it's a conversation that I feel affects everybody, not just the women. That's my personal opinion, anyway. I think it affects the men too. And this is about a bill that I spoke about on Wednesday, and said that we'll discuss briefly today. And it's about the British MPs who have voted to decriminalise abortion. Let me say a trigger warning as well, because obviously we may get into certain territory that may be a bit triggering for people. So, for those who don't know, British MPs have voted to decriminalise abortion, and this is basically the biggest step forward in reproductive rights in almost 60 years. Now, this depends on if you think this is a step forward, depending on your perspective, depending on your position. But basically, there's been an amendment to the government's crime and policing bill. Parliament voted to change the criminal laws, that govern abortion in England and Wales, so that women who are getting a termination outside of the legal framework cannot be prosecuted. So this is basically what it's about. It's not saying, let me say this off the bat, it's not saying you can go and get abortions or you should get abortions or all that sort of stuff up to whatever. But it's more so saying that if someone decides to, it won't be criminalized. Now, granted, I know what I've said to some people may sound like weird. That's exactly what it's saying. If there's no consequence for the damn action, then you're basically saying I can do this, right? But that's basically what the situation is. So the framework of access to an abortion, just to give some context, there needs to be two doctors' signatures, right? Two doctors have to sign off on this. And the time limits of the terminations have to be in line with what the framework is. And I believe at the time, prior to this bill, it was 24 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, right? So those things are pretty much, they're saying, are going to remain the same, and doctors who act outside of the law will still face the threat of prosecution, right? But women, this is the key thing, but women who terminate their pregnancy outside of the rules. So, for example, after the time limit, if you buy pills online, for those, like, I'm not too sure, Brent, if you know, that during COVID, when people couldn't get access to doctors and things of that nature, some women who didn't want to have their kids anymore, I'm trying to think if that sounds a bit loaded, but some women who didn't want to carry on their pregnancies, they were able to request those abortion pills that you can take within 10 weeks, isn't it? But they was using it for way after. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I think there's a situation with a woman who was like 8 months pregnant. She used those pills, whatever, and did what she did.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So essentially, this bill is to say for those people who decide after that legal framework, after that 24 weeks, I believe it is, right? Going forward, if they decide to go, you know what I'm saying, underground or whatever it is, get pills over the counter, get pills through the post, whatever it may be, buy it online, you know, them websites there, they are not going to face arrest. They will not be put in prison. There will be no criminal proceedings. And the offence of inducing a miscarriage carries a maximum sentence of life, right? So that's separate to this situation. But obviously, there's going to be a thin line about what inducing a miscarriage even looks like. So that's basically what the situation is. That's what I wanted to bring to the people, just to be a bit more specific about everything, because we did obviously read the headline and touch on it briefly on Wednesday. But that's basically what the situation is. It's an amendment to the Crime and Policing Bill, right? This is going to be removing all the criminal penalties under the 1861 Offences Act. The 1861 Offences Against the Person Act. And basically, the women in England and Wales will no longer face any prosecution for self-managed abortions, right? So this is, like I said, after the framework time frame of 24 weeks and without the two doctors' approval. None of that is necessary now. So I wanted to ask you guys in the chat, in the Discord, anyone want to call up, do you feel like this is the beginning of the end? Or do you feel like, no, this is what makes sense? Women should have a choice. You know what I'm saying? We give women a choice, or women, again, that even sounds loaded. But women should have a choice, and they have a choice up to 24 weeks. So I think it's fair that we extend it all the way up to 40 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Full term. Is that your opinion? Or do you feel like 24 weeks even is too much? You know what I'm saying? But we understand. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I think it goes without saying to say that if the woman will be harmed, if maybe the child would be severely deformed or severely disabled or whatever, and I don't know, it was missed or whatever, then that's a bit different. But do you believe as though that people should have that choice up to 9 months? You know what I'm saying? Literally, right now, if it's on the day baby was due today, and it was the day before, and the woman said, no, I don't want this baby no more, and did whatever's necessary to get the baby out, and the baby is no longer here, that woman will not be criminalized. You know what I'm saying? But what's your thoughts on that, man? I don't want to put you on the spot. No one's in Discord, man.
Yeah, it's interesting verse you went with on this beautiful Friday, end of working week.
Yeah, man.
Day. You know, there was another topic of the day that you threw into the mix and it wasn't touched at all that we could have used today.
Which one?
The happy-go-lucky sunny one.
I thought you did it the other day.
We did it.
Oh, I didn't know.
I know, because you were bedridden.
I was in the spiritual realm.
Have I ever told you about Mr. Cecil? Remember Mr. Cecil?
Yes.
The plumber, Mr. Cecil.
Yeah. Light skin.
Yeah.
Big him up, man.
What?
Big him up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But this guy, right? He's been like in our kind of family gatherings and whatnot here and there, right, over the years, because we went to our church and stuff. And I don't go to that church anymore. In fact, myself and Stephen left that church early doors. You get me? Pew, pew, pew. Anyway, this guy is a plumber, and when it is that he was younger and alert, everything was fine, right? It was just like any black plumber, any black craftsman that would come in and they would say one thing and they'll say, well, they'll come in one day and they don't come in and then they'll give an excuse, this, that, and that. Huh?
Who's that?
Somebody. Ooh, Davina, how are you?
Hi.
Whoa.
I'm good, thanks.
Whoa. That was a heavy, heavy high, man. That was a sigh. All right.
How's the little one doing?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
What a blessing.
Yeah. She's making noise in the background.
That's why she's participating. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as you know, she was born early. So she was born at 6 months. So she had a lot of personality even then. So for me, unless there was a danger to the mother or the child, I don't agree with it. If it's the case of sort of similar, hold on a minute. Bear with me 1 minute.
Alright, so this fella Cecil, right? When he was younger, he was younger. Well, when it is
My bad,
that's
mother
alright.
duties. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Unless there's something wrong with them, yeah. Because just like that case with that lady, basically, I think it was she had an affair or something, and so that's why she was getting. Well, yeah, that's why she wanted to terminate.
Mm.
So that's a proper person. They're like, I just don't agree. Having actually seen my child and other people's child at those ages, they're a proper person with personality
Yeah.
that you're getting rid of for because you just don't want to, or because it's awkward for this, or you know what I mean. I can't agree with it, and I don't think it's right. I think only special circumstances. Do you get what I mean? But if it's just because your lifestyle doesn't suit, how can we say that's right? That's just like I don't like to say this because you used to see people on our programs and stuff saying, "Hey, you're killing people," but it is like that. It is almost like murdering them. Do you know what I mean?
But what about the argument that it's a woman's body, it's her choice and whatnot? Like, as long as she is, I guess, housing that baby, doesn't she have the ultimate say, or shouldn't she have the ultimate say?
Because it's her body. I hear that,
Mm.
but that's a life. It's a proper life.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? It's not just about your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about your body. So again, I think special circumstances, yeah,
Yeah.
I get that, but I think just special circumstances. I can't fully agree with it, knowing what my child was like at 6 months. So past that,
Yeah.
I just think it's a bit cruel. And for you to not, I know going to prison might be a bit harsh, but there has to be some kind of repercussion.
Mm-hmm. But it almost seems like prison's the only thing, because are you going to find them? You know what I mean? How do you find someone for taking a life? If that's what we're saying this is, you know what I'm saying? And also, I don't want to put you on the spot, yeah? So if you don't want to answer it, just say. But like you said, your daughter was born at 6 months, yeah? So that's basically, 24 weeks.
Yeah.
That's also the limit that they're allowing people to get abortions at already. So in from your perspective, would you even say that that's too much? Because you're saying 40 weeks that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's a full blown baby. You know what I'm saying? But even at 6 months, would you say that's too much? Because that's currently what it is.
Oh, it's a tough one.
Mm.
Because like I said,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of development there at that stage.
Yeah.
You don't, until you actually see them, you don't realize.
Yeah.
Because just seeing on a scan doesn't quite make, like, even though you might see them move and stuff on ultrasound, it doesn't seem as real as when you actually see them in the flesh and what they are like. So just knowing that, oh, they're just inside you've got no other recollection. I can see why it doesn't seem as bad, and you're just thinking it's still just, they'll almost see it as just a little fetus, just a little this. It doesn't really do much, but because I've seen babies at that stage in the flesh, knowing what they can do, it does make it a bit more difficult. Could I imagine myself? Not now. I don't think I could, knowing what they are actually like at 6 months. If I hadn't seen it for myself at the neonatal unit, then I probably would be like, yeah, that's fine. But having seen them for myself, now I'm just like, oof, a little bit tough. It's a little bit tough.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning, Bathroom Diaries.
Morning.
What happened?
I wanted to just weigh in quickly. So I think obviously it's wrong. I think it's like morally wrong. But I do think it's your body, your choice. And I feel like if something's in you, I feel like it will be really rare as well for a woman to want to abort her kid like at 6 or 7 or even 8 months. I feel like mentally she would have to have some sort of, I don't know, I think it's like a mental health problem. But I also wonder, you know, when women that are on crack or, you know, on drugs and they give birth to babies that are also crack babies or heroin babies, do they get arrested or not? Because that's an issue as well. Because it's like, imagine you're an addict and the addict is pregnant and it's like she wants to abort the baby. Obviously, I think it's wrong. I don't agree with abortion anyway, but I just think that if you want to abort your baby, you shouldn't have to go to prison for it because it's your body. And no one can really tell you what to do in that sense. But it just makes me wonder when women are on drugs and stuff and they give birth to babies that are also addicted, it's like, what are their consequences? Are there even consequences for that? Does anyone know?
I think if it's on purpose, then they get in trouble. But if somebody's addicted,
What's
you know what I
trouble,
mean?
like prison or just?
I don't know if it's prison and stuff. Actually, it depends. Like if it's on purpose and actually trying to kill the baby, then I think they do go to prison because that's the whole induced miscarriage thing. You know what I'm saying? And that can carry up to a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? But that's different. You know what I'm saying? So I think there is consequences for that. But like you're right in saying, how many women really are going to do this at 8 months? You know what I'm saying? Probably like one every year. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that's likely. But should it really be there to then say, okay, wait a minute, even though it's not going to happen much, this is symbolically saying women have the choice. It's your body, so be allowed to choose. And if there are some very rare cases where it does happen, they shouldn't be criminalized. You know what I'm saying? But
the only reason why,
no, go on.
Well, the only reason why I say it's your body, your choice, because I think when I've never had an abortion, whatever, but a lot of women that have had abortions, a lot of them regret it and it's heavy on their conscience. So I feel like if someone were to abort their baby at 8 or 7 months, which is crazy, I think the mental load that they're going to go through to have to either give birth or see that baby eventually, because sometimes obviously they have to give birth and whatever, I think that's going to mentally mess them up anyway. I'm just like, you know what? If it's your body, it's your body, because you can't save everyone. And I don't even agree with it. But I don't think someone could literally live a happy life knowing that they aborted their baby at 8 months. Like genuinely, I don't think they will sleep peacefully at night at all.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not too sure if that's a punishment. You know what I mean? Because what about those who just such is life and they get on with it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they should have that heavy conscience and stuff, but you know what I mean? And also I wanted to say to you, yes, you're saying it's your body, your choice, but at what point is it not your choice? Yes, it's your body. That's because this is nature. You know what I mean? It had to be born inside of you, right? Or develop inside of you. But if the baby is doing all sorts of stuff inside of your belly that you ain't even controlling, then is it your choice? Yes, it's your baby, but it's like at what point do we protect the baby? Do you get what I'm saying?
Can't, because it's not yours. I'm not saying I agree, by the way. I'm not team abort babies at all, but I'm thinking if it's in your body, because I feel like with us as humans, we always like to play moral police and if someone got if someone got raped, then it's understandable that we kill. You know what I mean? With humans, I feel like we always say, okay, well, if it's a certain circumstance, then it's okay to kill someone, and if it's not, then it's not. So I feel like we all pick and choose with these things.
Yeah, but isn't that normal? Isn't that normal? Like, if somebody slaps you, then surely it's okay for you to slap them back. But if you just go around slapping people, everyone will condemn you. You know what I mean? Like, we tend to respond to things. You know what I mean? So if it came from, a grape, then it will be more understanding for somebody because you just know the results of this. Even though there are some people out there who say, no, still have the baby. You know, God works in mysterious ways, things of that nature. But I don't know, man. Like, we have to protect the kids too. And if a kid is fully developed at 6 months, like Davina is saying to us, even if not fully developed or whatever, there's still a child that has personality in life. Just because
that's true, but can you what are the measures though? Because it's like if someone wants to do that, if they want to abort their baby, then it's like, and they can't. I'm still thinking if they have that mentality of not wanting it, I feel like they're gonna treat their self like crap anyway. Like I don't know. There's not through real consequences. I don't know.
I get you. I do get what you're saying. But do you feel like it's a
Like
bit
they'll be
weird?
like, okay, well, if I can't abort my baby at 7 months, then hell, I'm gonna drink every day. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Like, is there really a real way to measure if the baby's gonna be okay?
But then
Because I feel like they're already mentally ill.
well, if they do that, they'll still end up in prison as well. Innit? If they try to induce a miscarriage, if they try and do some nonsense, then they'll end up in prison anyway. They end up in the same place. You know what I mean? So maybe that's something that needs to be in place so that authorities can protect this baby. Because if that baby was born today, social services will come in and look after that baby. It just so happens because of the laws of nature that baby's within the case in your body. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we still need to put certain things in place.
Definitely, I 100% agree. I just think that people are gonna do what they want to do, and I don't agree with it, guys. I'm just saying. I feel like can you really measure it? I don't know.
And also,
question, E-Man.
Yes.
Is it any they can abort at any stage, or is there still some kind of time limit?
No, so basically, it's still the same framework. So you still need to get signed off by doctors if you want to do this via the normal, quote unquote, normal route. The doctors involved, you got to do it within 24 weeks. However, they're saying if you do this outside of that, if doctors do not approve of this, if it's the 25th week and you've changed your mind, you can go by any other means that you want to, and you will not be punished for it.
It doesn't really make much sense, though, does it?
In what way? What do you mean?
I don't know, because if you're within the 24 weeks, it has to be done by doctors.
Yeah.
So you've gone outside of that, and you 25 weeks. So you're thinking, well, it's only a week after, but past that, you've just gone and done it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, because that would the person would still be under some kind of monitoring because they'd be under the system unless their pregnancy has never been reported. You'd still have like midwife or whatever in touch. So what would they have? Would they say, "Oh, I had a miscarriage"? So therefore, I was going to investigate, because I don't understand what happens.
Essentially, they can be open, so they can say, "No, I actually got an abortion. I decided against it," and maybe they'll just do the paperwork and stuff. But police won't be involved. It's not a criminal act anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's no need for you to lie. It's just that the hospital won't do it for you. So you'd have to go through the back channels. You'd have to go to them particular websites and whatever, speak to X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? To find a way to actually get rid of the baby. But once you do it, you can say it to whoever. Nobody's gonna get no police involved. It's not a criminal act anymore, and that goes up all the way up to the day before the 9 months.
Okay, I think I can't see this lasting long, because if people do that, there could be consequences because what the means you're going to use to do that, is it safe? Is it going to have a detrimental effect on you and your body as well? Like, you could possibly die from it. Like, it's just like, like with these jabs for weight loss and whatever, they're not regulated.
I'm going to put my candidate to do so.
Anything could be in them. So I guess they're kind of leaving it up to them. But this seems very unsafe to me. But maybe they're doing it maybe to prove a point. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, because there's no regulation there. Where's the safety aspect of this? Because I think the thought of a possible prosecution is also like a sort of deterrent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It keeps within a safety kind of thing, because you have to, before you'd have to do it through the doctors, because if you don't, you go in jail if you're caught out. That kind of protects people to a certain degree. I know people probably wouldn't look at it like that, but you do have to think of it in that way, because say if I go and get the thing on Amazon, I've heard it's through this person and they used to be a doctor, so it should be safe. I take this thing now, next thing you know, I'm in hospital because it's had some kind of adverse effects on me. Then what? I guess then I just took it upon myself because I'm not going to get prosecuted. But isn't this just encouraging more people to go down those kind of routes? And Ain't that a bit?
Yeah.
I just think it's a dangerous road to go down, and I can't see this lasting longer. To me, it seems like there's going to be a lot of issues with it.
Boy, we shall see. Thank you
And
very
also,
much for that.
guys, sorry,
Yes.
someone in the comments, I think it's Talius, I think they said, can we look at this from the perspective of a surrogate using the egg and sperm of another couple? If the surrogate mother decides at 9 months you should have had the baby. Oh yeah, basically from a surrogate's point of view, that would be crazy if they aborted someone else's baby
Yeah.
at 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That would be interesting. Like,
Yeah.
then I feel like, okay, my point kind of changed now, because I'm thinking, oh yeah, if you're carrying someone's baby and you're allowed to do that, then it's like, damn.
But like you said, your
deep.
body, right? Your body, your choice.
Thing is, it's true. It's so weird because I feel like once something's in you, like as women, I've never been pregnant before, but it's like, how can you tell someone what to do with their own body? Because it's their life and they're experiencing it. Do you know what I mean? But I've always not agreed with it. But it's like, oh, it's just a surrogate. It's like, oh my days, that's crazy as well.
I think personally that
know.
this highlights the importance of men being involved in these decisions as well. Because even though it's not the man's body per se, if the man wasn't present, there would be no baby to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And like you're saying, if it is that we can start having empathy and thinking about, wait a minute, the surrogate now, who's not the one who provided the egg or the sperm, is just a carrier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're seeing the person as just a carrier. Why is it that you wouldn't see the woman as just a carrier? Obviously, she provided the sperm too, sorry, the egg too, but the man provided the sperm. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think this is where people are now going to start seeing things from another perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should do, because it takes two to make life. You know?
True.
But yeah.
This also speaks to, sorry, I had to come back on. This also speaks to like the over to window thing. And it's like a thing that happens with all these policies where, you know, they're talking about how now that I think the way you explained it, that they won't prosecute you, but you can find your own means to make it happen if it happens after a certain amount of months. That's the first stage. They'll give it a couple of years and then they'll go, this is too dangerous. A lot of women are going to like black marketplaces and doing crazy stuff. So we're going to have to bring it back in-house. So now you can have it in-house. And we will officially allow you to do it up until X amount of months, because they can't do it straight away like that. They have to do it in increments. Otherwise, people will be like, "Oh, this is wild."
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Whenever you want to do something mad, you have to do it in increments so that the public, because the public have a conscience. So if you go, we're going to allow it at 9 months. Even people that are non-religious or whatever will be like, "Nah, this is a bit wild." So you have to do it in slow increments. And this one is now, okay, we won't prosecute you, but you can do it yourself. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, and then they'll incrementally go, and then in like a decade's time, you realize that they're doing it up till term. And we creeped ourselves into it. And they do it with everything. Whenever they want to do something wild, they'll incrementally creep you into it, because if they go full throttle straight away, the collective conscience of the masses will be like, nah, this is wrong. So that's why even though obviously your body, your choice, there's guardrails in place, because even though it's your choice, there's certain people that everyone has innate morality, but there's some people that go, okay, I won't do this because it's illegal, even though I might have wanted to do it. So therefore, whenever there's a deterrent, less people do it. Whenever it's part of policy, then more people feel justified in it, because like the law of the land says I could do it. So what's the problem?
I hear you. Makes sense, man.
Morning, Christy.
Morning.
How are you, Christy?
I just wanted to gain some clarification.
Yes.
Because when what words can I use? What was the factor in this law coming into play? Like, because how I would see it is that being that heavily pregnant, to me that doesn't seem that's something that happens often. To where women would want to do that.
Yeah.
So what is the actual percentage or the rates in which this actually takes place to where this needed to be enacted?
It's super low. Super low. It's super low. You know what I'm saying? But it did happen. I believe it happened during COVID, where somebody was really heavily pregnant and they used the pills that you can get through the post. and then they got rid of their baby. So it's definitely something that's rare. Like you women are saying, like, how many people really are gonna be 8 months pregnant and say, you know what, let me get rid of this baby? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? But it is still something that they wanted to put in place. And I think it's because you've got a lot of women out there. When I say a lot of women, I'm not talking about, how do I put this? I'm not talking about the masses of women. Because apparently, according to The Spectator, only 3% of women are for this, only 3% of women. But it seems to be, let me just say it straight. It seems to be coming from the feminist side of things. They want to be able to push certain things to be like, no, it's a woman. A woman needs to have her choice. Her body, her choice. Do you know what I'm saying? Up until whenever, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, the baby wants to come out at 9 months because that's what normally happens. But any point up to that, a woman should be able to decide. So it seems like it's pushed from the feminist agenda. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's obviously not the majority of women. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, according to this poll, I'm not too sure how accurate it is, but only 3% of women are even for this. So,
and those feminists that are for that or pushing that kind of agenda, they've got too much time on their hands. I can't lie, because I can't lie. There's more important things to be. I don't. Me personally, this is where I have issues with these extreme feminist stuff. To be honest, because if it's only 3% that are for it, then what are we doing?
Yeah, but I guess they just kind of
To be
consider.
fair, though, sorry, there are the odd few cases where the mother basically gets bullied into having the abortion. So I guess in that sense, if they actually don't want to do it, but they kind of feel forced into it, it would then be wrong if I was to go to jail for that. Do you get what I mean? So I guess in that sense, it is warranted, because I don't want to have to go to jail, for having an abortion when I really didn't even want to go through with it. But then that, again, would be a small percentage of people. So it's only protecting a very, very, very small percent, whereas you've got some people that are just doing it because they can. You know what I mean? Like,
but I
just think, again, the slippery slope.
Like, you're right, and I think that's maybe what energizes them to kind of push this thing forward, because they're thinking it'll protect the minority who are being abused, who are being coerced into this sort of thing, so that they're not criminalized. And there's nothing that we lose, because most women won't do this anyway. So why not protect those that may be forced to do it? You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe that's their thinking. But we all know there's consequences to everything in it, so it is what it is. But anyway, guys, that is basically what I wanted to discuss with you guys quickly. Just wanted to say two things before we move on. Yeah, I'm not going to make this a debate at all, but it's just touching on two things. When Esther was here before, when I say before, I'm talking about months back, when we spoke about the trigger warning things up. When we spoke about assisted dying, remember there was a vote, guys, where people said, you know what, the assisted dying bill, we're not for it, and Esther spoke about the church praying for it and all that sort of stuff. The reason why I'm mentioning it and I'm mentioning Esther is because they're doing the second vote now. So everyone thought, like I did, like everyone thought that was the end of it. Now they're doing another vote today. So I believe at right now, 9:30, they are debating this in Parliament, I believe it's going to be a private thingy. But they're going to make the final vote after the debate. They're doing a vote, then they're going to debate it again, and the final vote will be at 2:30, I believe. Either 2:30 or 4:30 today. So we're definitely going to know what's going to be happening with this assisted dying bill, because apparently they're saying some MPs have switched sides. Some of the switches have happened on both sides, but there's been an amendment to the bill, and so some people are kind of tussling and seeing what's going to happen. So I just wanted to give you guys that. It's not to debate it, just to let you guys know. So probably on Monday, we'll let you know the outcome of that. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, Brent, remember we spoke about the grooming gangs, and you mentioned about if you get citizenship, yes, it's right, it should come with conditions, right? Found out today that I shouldn't be laughing. But one of these people who was guilty of being in the grooming gang, Pakistani gentleman, or he's not a gentleman, but a Pakistani man, they can't remove his citizenship. Why? Because he'll be rendered stateless, like the Shamima Begum thing. You know what's crazy about this though, Ben? Is that he wasn't even born and raised there. He's a Pakistani citizen, so he had dual citizenship. He's found out via maybe his lawyers or whatever that if he obviously renounces his,
then he could be chilling here and not go to Pakistan.
There you go. And that's what he did. That's what he did a couple of days ago. 3 days before the actual thing. Damn shame. I think it was 2 or 3 of them that did it. All at the same time. We no longer want to be Pakistani. We're only now British. They get the verdict. Can't be deported. Now they're in Britain. Diabolical.
I can understand the locals. I can understand the locals.
For real.
Yep.
For real. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for topic of the day, guys. And Brent, let me do a quick People's Journal, please.
Thank you very much, Christy, Davina, Bathroom Diaries, Black Rob, and Eddie Cabone. Let's push on. I think I have asking for a friend. I think I saw one. Let me see if I can find it. What is this stupid slide, man? Just pretend like oh no, here it is.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I wanted to mention, there isn't much, to be fair, is the Bank of England has hinted at further interest rate cuts, which could come as soon as August, but they have held the interest rate. So they decided to keep the rate at 4.25% on Thursday, so yesterday, right? Keep at 4.25% on Thursday with inflation. And this is basically remaining at its highest level for more than a year and above the bank's target rate, which I believe is like 2%. So, yeah, I mean, at the top of the year, we did say that most analysts believe they're going to drop the interest rate 4 separate times. I believe they've done it twice now, if I'm not mistaken. We're halfway into the year. So, yeah, and like I just said as well, they're looking at potentially cutting the interest rate come August, right? So we'll see what happens in it. So I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware that 4.25%. Next thing I wanted to mention is, and again, the Labour Party just keeps going back and forth with this nonsense. But this is about the whole £150 off your energy bills and stuff, right? So double the number of households in Britain will be getting £150 off their energy bills this winter. Why? Because the government has changed the rules on who qualifies for the whole warm home discount. So that's something that's going to be put in place. So this basically means that I've explained it before, but obviously for the new listeners, anyone who's now I guess eligible for this or know someone that's eligible for this, anyone who's on mean tested benefits will automatically see the money knocked off of their bills, no matter the size of the property they live in, right? So again, if you're maybe caring for someone, handling the affairs of a grandparent or whoever that is eligible for this, make sure this is happening. Make sure £150 has been taken off their energy bill, right? Because this is going to be rolled out to about 2.7 million more households this winter. You know what I'm saying? So this expansion covers all those, again, on means tested benefits, regardless of the property size, regardless of the energy efficiency rating of the property, all of that, right? They're going to be getting it. And almost 1 million of those are households that have children as well, innit? So bear that in mind, right? And the last thing I wanted to mention is, and this is a bit of should I even say it's funny? But Brent, you know Telegram. Do you use Telegram?
I don't use it, but I
You
installed
obviously
it for something.
Yeah, all right, cool. The founder of Telegram is a guy by the name of Pavel Durov. Let me show you a picture of Mr. Pavel Durov. This is what Pavel...
Is that a goat?
Yes. This is what he's on here. Obviously, as the founder of Telegram, you know this guy has got money, right? But on top of the money that he's got, apparently he's got estimated $13.9 billion. He's also got a lot of children. Apparently, guess how many children he's fathered?
52.
Okay, I'll give you 2 more guesses.
23.
One more.
And 105.
Ooh, more than 100. So probably 105, Brent. Yeah. He basically said, they are all my children and will all have the same rights. I don't want them to tear each other apart after my death. So he's going to be spreading his 13.9 billion among these 100 kids, man. Well done to him. He's 40 years old. 40. 100 children. Amazing. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys or inform you guys about what Mr. Pavel Durov is doing.
Good question though.
Yes.
And you're the best person to ask. This is crazy, right? So he doesn't believe in protection, obviously.
Not at all.
That's probably an ick for him, like a red flag. If a girl says, "Have you got protection?"
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Get out.
Protect for what?
Get out. Oh my gosh. 40.
40 years old. 40.
Oh,
Crazy.
I would love to know the ages of those children.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them probably the same age, roughly.
Oh, most. They have to be.
That
Have to be.
mental.
You know what I mean? He must have been active from... If he wasn't active from 20, having 5 kids a year.
I think he started early. I think I guess he's probably only started, if that's how he looks, walking around with a coat to his shoulder as well. I wonder if... Where's he from? Because it sounds like...
It sounds Eastern European,
Eastern
but let me get
European.
the country he's from. Oh, Russian.
Ah,
Yeah, Russian.
okay.
He's a self-exiled Russian technology tycoon.
They exiled him.
Self-exiled, bro.
Like the Pakistani man.
There you go. Oh, man.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Never mind.
But yes, that's it for the People's Journal, guys.
All right.
All right, people. So we've got an asking for a friend. Also, what, this is the one that's in the doc already?
Yes.
Oh, no, you changed it. It just came up. Okay, cool. All right, people. Name that just says Ghana boy, so big him up. I think that's all right to say. He's 24 years old, and this is his dilemma. He says, please, how do you communicate to your discriminatory family what your type is, right? So long story short, my family are from Cape Coast and are Akan. And I've been sent here to Manchester to complete my joint degree in biomechanical engineering and get my master's. Since being here, I've been getting to know some ladies, but I know my family wouldn't approve of them. They really want me to be with a white girl or a light-skinned girl. It's a sort of messed up mentality. But it's the archaic mindset of white is right and light skin is the best, and they know better. I don't want to lie to my family, but I've had relationships, 2 relationships, in fact, over the last 18 months with women that are melanin jam-packed. God bless you, man. God bless you. Right? But he then asks, how do I break the news to them that I haven't been with a girl they want me to be with? It'll break their heart, of course, but I need the least abrasive way to get my point across. For extra context, I'm in love with a wholesome, cute girl type. I love medium, ugly, dark-skinned women. Like, to me, they are so beautiful. Like, amazing.
Why is he using the word ugly then?
I think he's basically saying what the world may perceive them as. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think he's saying.
That word isn't used towards women. That phrasing isn't used towards women. It's men that's used towards. No? Medium ugly?
Yeah.
You can't be running around calling women medium ugly.
Especially when I tell you the examples he gave.
Oh, go on.
I can't.
No, he's anonymous anyway.
Yeah, it's not to protect him. Anyway, I'll give you half of the examples. So he said, I love medium, ugly, dark-skinned women. Like, to me, they're so beautiful, like amazing. Like women like Brandy and Jodie Turner-Foster. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
That's what I'm saying to you.
I'm jumping into wrap up. I'm dropping to wrap up. This is nonsense.
Is he put-
What?
That's too late now.
Hold up. Let me just read this. That's what it is.
Yeah, just read the last line.
Hold up. Wow. See, good. See what my spirit does?
There you go, bro.
Even though I don't even know what's happening, that spirit tells me, lock this off.
There you go.
Lock this off.
There you go.
What an animal. What an animal.
All right. What'd you put on? Wrap up.
Your weekend will not be well. Some calamity will find you.
But Brent, do you think it could be just
No.
No?
No. They meant to basically insult those two people. 100%. Not the people that you've mentioned.
Yeah.
The people that you
Other
decided
people.
not to.
Other people.
100%.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Nah, that's not a curse. That's when it is that you go looking to do evil. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Yes. All right, cool, people. Thank you for tuning in. Today we spoke about the government whip, Labour MP Vicky Foxcroft, who quit over disability benefit cuts. In the UK, we asked, I don't know why I said in the UK, is the UK about to be dragged into the Iran-Israel conflict? And also we asked if Trump says, we mentioned rather, that Trump said he'll make a decision on the US military action in Iran within 2 weeks. For the topic of the day, we spoke about MPs voting to decriminalise abortions, but asking the question of whether it is really a win or not. We mentioned the assisted dying bill as well. They're having that right now as we speak. And we mentioned the Pakistani citizen who was engaging in unlawful activities with the grooming gang thing, somehow found a loophole, and now this guy can't be deported. Goddamn shame. BBC Breakfast Boss has taken an extended leave. Why? Because there were some bullying allegations. Pete Hegseth has urged his staff to take a passive approach to celebrating Juneteenth. This is what we heard from the Rolling Stone. Apparently, the White House don't give a damn about Juneteenth this year, anyway. And probably won't for the next 3. But such is life, guys. You know what I'm saying? We also spoke about the LA County Supervisor, who's warning community members about people who might be impersonating, ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement team. And we also spoke about the asylum seeker who blames the rape of a teenage girl on cultural differences. This guy's a diabolical human being. But anyway, long story short, he has been convicted. He's going to be doing 9 years in custody. He's going to do 3 years on license. He's going to go on the sex offenders register, and then after he's going to be deported. Hopefully, he doesn't find that loophole. And we also spoke about the Kenya court sentences 2 people who were allegedly aiding Al-Shabaab militants in 2019 attack on a Nairobi luxury hotel complex. And we also spoke about the Kenyan preacher, Mr. Gilbert Deya, who has passed away, man. And he apparently claimed responsibility for miracle babies, man. I don't know why he couldn't save himself. But anyway, before we move on, though, Ben, I did want to mention quickly in sports, Brian Norman Jr., he successfully defended his WBO welterweight title against Jin Sasaki in the 5th round in Tokyo. He went to Japan. He said, listen, I want to go there. I want people in Japan to love me. That's the aim. And I think maybe they will, man. He knocked this guy. This guy was asleep. The left hook he gave this guy, the guy is sleeping. Right now, he's probably sleeping. And also, the IBF has ordered FA Jagba to fight Frank Sanchez. If you know about both of these boxers, they fought before in 2021. Frank Sanchez beat him. In fact, Frank Sanchez is the only one to have beaten FA Jagba to date, but they're both currently ranked number 3 and number 4. And the IBF is saying, yo, you guys need to fight, man, so we can figure out the next mandatory challenger for the title, which is currently being held by Daniel Dubois. But obviously, we will know if Daniel Dubois is going to continue holding this title in a month's time, because he's going to be fighting Usyk for undisputed. And that is pretty much it for today's show, man. Thank you once again, people, for tuning in. Just a quick reminder, it is Marcus Garvey Veneration Day on the 22nd of this month, on Sunday. If you can make it, people, please go down there and support. Please go down there to support. One last time, I'm just going to tell you where it is quickly. It's in Brixton. It's at the Caribou Education Centre, 7 Gresham Road, London, SW9 7PH. Again, it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's just going to be a beautiful evening to honor, enlighten, and inspire. You know what I'm saying? UNIA, Garvey, stand up, roll true, make sure you support. It's going to be spoken word artists, live performances, lectures. It's going to be a short documentary screening. There's going to be ITAL nourishment there as well.
ITAL is vital.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Liberty Plant-Based Cuisine is going to be there, making sure everyone is good. It's not evening to be missed, people. Let's support. Let's support. Let's support. Have a blessed weekend, beautiful people. Stay black and beautiful, man. Peace.